Well, good evening out there, folks. Meteorologist Austin Bowling, keeping track on storms here across southwest Oklahoma. Does appear that so far things have not been spinning too much in our corner of the state, but it looks like that may be changing here. So again, trying to keep things rather quiet for you here. Many people trying to sleep, get ready for bed. We do want to make the folks in Hobart aware of little bit of a situation trying to develop here. Some circulation. It's going to be just on the southwest side of town, coming in from the southwest, again, for Kiowa County. So this would be in between Granite and Hobart along Highway 9. We're starting to see that circulation area getting going here. So if you know anybody in Kiowa County, northern Kiowa County, heading towards the Hobart area, this is not tornado warned yet. Uh, it is trying to tighten up a little bit here. You'll notice a little bit of that stronger wind that's heading away from the radar in Frederick, and a little bit of that toward here as well. And still seeing some broad rotation here around Lone Wolf. So, uh, no official warning here yet, but it is trying to spin right there outside of Hobart. So, anybody there in northern Kiowa County definitely want to be on guard, seeing what the Weather Service may do with this as far as anything that may be picked up here. Not seeing anything going with that. That is definitely some good news with that. Trying to see if this is lining up with anything. Not seeing anything there yet. That is always some good news. If you remember back in November, we were tracking some of these storms out in this same part of the area, and we did see numerous debris detections. So that's not what we're seeing right now. But you're seeing the main line. Is all one line right now, but you are seeing these little bit of kinks right here along the line that are trying to get going. Most of the activity has actually been well to our north, up around Clinton, Weatherford, Cordell. So that is where most of the activity has been for this evening. As we get closer to midnight, 1 a.m., we start seeing that shifting more towards the Lawton, Anadarko, and Granfield areas. So the one that shows the most characteristics right now continues to be this one outside of Hobart. So it looks like it's come down just a little bit here from where it was. Again, we are starting to see this intensifying a little bit here as we stop it right. We'll scrub back here and we'll just see what that was doing here. You notice at a time right in there, right in here, it was starting to tighten up here. So we were looking at the possibility of something developing here. And this is how things are going to operate for the rest of tonight. These, what we call QLCS or quasi linear convective systems, quick spin up tornadoes along the leading edge of the line. And just before you can warn for them, they may already be gone. So that is going to be the nature of these storms as we head through the overnight hours, as that continued to work its way towards Hobart. You can see how that pretty much diminished. So that is some good news here at the moment, but nothing is to say that we can't see another one trying to get going along the leading edge of this line. Backing out things a little bit more, and let's go ahead and click it back over to the reflectivity view, what we traditionally see here. Just a light show right now for Blair, Duke, Altus, El Dorado. If you are in Mangum and Hollis, you are in the clear tonight. This is the main storm system. So if you are in Mangum, Willow, Granite, Hollis, you are done for tonight. You can rest easy. The rest of us have to be on our guard as we go through the rest of tonight. So hopped on here again, was just initially talking about that strong storm, that severe storm, trying to show some tightening rotation around Hobart. It is not nearly as wrapped up or as intense as it once was. So that is definitely some good news. But you head up here towards the north, you're still seeing these tornado warnings outside of Watonga, and was one for the Weatherford area that has since been allowed to expire. So if you do have any kids up at SWASU or anything like that, that threat has diminished. Still a severe storm rushing its way through, but nothing nearly as intense as it was when it was coming through about 20, 30 minutes ago. Again, our corner of the state right now, just a light show. All these storms are moving east at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. So we're still looking a good little ways away before that comes into uh, these eastern counties here. So let's pause this real quick. Let's get a little bit of a track on where these storms are going all the way down to Altus, and then let's push this out towards the east at around 30 miles per hour. And let's see what we've got. All right, so some of these times that we're looking at here, Goaty Bow is coming up at 11:30, Mountain View at 11:41, Cooperton at close to midnight, Carnegie at close to midnight. Same thing with Roosevelt and Fort Cobb around 12:15. If you're around Boone and Apache, you're coming up here around 12:25. Same thing with Mears. We're looking at the Holy City, Wichita, the Wichita Mountains coming up around 12:30. Apache 12:30. Medicine Park 12:35. Anadarko closer to 12:40. Getting closer to Elgin, that would be around 12:45 for you. Fletcher 12:50. Cyril 12:50. Cement coming up at around 12:55. Sterling a little after 1:15 for Chickasha. Getting into Tuttle at around 1:30. And that gets into Oklahoma City, kind of out of what I'm tracking here, closer to 2 o'clock in the morning. So there's still a long way to go here. Still another 3 hours, 4 hours before this storm really clears the area. Really want to go back and see the velocity data here again. Still some pretty strong winds. Looks like wind gusts right around 35, 40 miles per hour. I've got the Mesonet pulled up here just to see the winds. And the winds are even stronger out the Panhandle, where that dry line and those significant winds are going to start surging in for parts of the overnight into tomorrow morning as well. So again, I know a lot of folks are trying to hop in, just get an idea of where things stand right now. Nothing is imminent at the moment, but again, how these things operate, it's going to take a quick little wiggle and there will be a weak tornado that drops down here. But as far as Hobart is concerned, that leading edge is passing through right now. Altus, that leading edge is just outside of town, right halfway between Duke and Altus. It's coming into Blair as we speak, Lake Altus, Lugert. And again, that leading edge is coming through Hobart. So once the storms pass by in Hobart, you are also going to be in the clear. So that leading edge is really where we are seeing the potential for spin ups here. So once the leading edge gets past you, you can finally rest easy for tonight. So we're hoping a lot of this gets out of here by 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and at least gives you a couple of hours to rest easy, or at least rest a little bit better. But again, going to continue to keep an eye on this. Just a severe thunderstorm warning for Jackson, Greer, and Kiowa County, 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-size hail. As far as where the biggest hail may be right now, that does appear to be up around the Hobart area between Hobart and Sentinel. That's going to be heading up more towards where Highway 55 and 54 to come together. That's going to be Lake Valley up there. Rocky area is going to be seeing some of that hail as it comes its way through. Maybe some smaller pea-size hail for the Hobart area, but it looks like that hail core is going to stay just off towards the north of town here over the next 30 minutes or so. So again, I'm going to hop off here for the moment, making sure that all the littles are resting easy as well. But if there is anything concerning, once again, I will hop on here and you will know at that point that there's something to keep a watch on here. But we're looking probably closer to 12:30, 1 o'clock before things move a little bit closer to the I-44 corridor. So I'll keep a watch here. Just hopped on here real quick to see things. I've got some folks that are asking about the storm here. We had folks asking about the Lawton Fort Sill area, had this coming in around 12:30, 1 o'clock. And again, all hazards are still going to be possible there, Brianna. Large hail damage and winds, isolated tornado threat here. Amy asking about Chattanooga. Looks like, again, the line will stay going, but again, it's probably going to be closer to 1:30 before that works its way through. So keep it here. I'll continue to hop on and off as things dictate. But for right now, not really seeing anything really popping up here. There is still some strong winds out here trying to head towards the Gotebo and Mountain View and Carnegie areas. So those would be the next areas in line for seeing these strong storms. So wouldn't be surprised to see this continuing as a severe thunderstorm warning with tornadoes possible as the added feature here. Is it breaking up at all? Brittany asked. Not really. The stronger part of the line has been up into uh, northwestern and just western Oklahoma, up around Clinton. Or so it's all pretty much one significant line, but most of the wiggles have been up towards the north. This is still one continuous line, even all the way down into Paducah, Texas. So this is going to come straight east over into Tillman and Cotton counties, even as we go through the overnight. So we still have a long way to go here, every bit of 2, 3 o'clock in the morning before it all clears the region. But as far as the immediate concerns, just a couple little wiggles up here around the Hobart area, outside of Highway 9, west of Gotebo and Mountain View. Those would be the next areas potentially in line. So we'll have to keep a watch on that. Definitely bears watching here. But as for anything developing right now, it doesn't seem to be the case at the moment. Kim saying she's in Washita and Caddo County and hope it passes. So again, you're a little bit closer here to Carnegie and Eakly. Again, we're starting to see some wiggles up here. These little wiggles right in here where you see the stronger away and then the not as strong away right in here. That's where we have our next circulation area here outside of Sentinel and Gotebo, east of Rocky. That's going to be heading more in the direction north of Carnegie towards Eakly. Fort Cobb Lake right here. So that is the next concerning area, if there is one, that is taking shape here at the moment. Let's see what else we've got here. Rhonda again asking about the Geronimo area. Let me put another quick track on here. All of this is mainly moving east at about 30 miles per hour. Let me put this down here. And we'll track this out one more time for the majority of the area. Right here and then back. I think the strongest part is. And then let's push this east at 30 miles per hour. Those folks that are hopping in here and getting a track. So here is the laundry list of names. We're looking at Gotebo at around 1150, Cooperton at 1153. Friendship at around 1207. Snyder at 1215, along with Altus around 1216. That's not really timing out very well. Closer to 1230 for Indiahoma and Mears. Looks like it's closer to Fort Cobb at around 1240. Medicine Park at 1240. We're looking closer to the Lawton area. Closer to 1250, 1 o'clock. Looks like closer to 1 o'clock as well for Elgin. And then Cyril, 1 o'clock. Cement, 115. And then over towards Central High, closer to 1:30. If I had to put the timeline for the Geronimo area, I'd put it probably closer to that 1 o'clock, 1:15 time frame alongside the Lawton area. So that is as it stands right now. Back to the wind view. That is still the strongest storm up here outside of Rocky. That wouldn't be surprised if that one prompts a warning. All right. So this looks like it's going to stay north of Mountain View, Gotebo, and Carnegie. You can see that heading more in this direction up here. So that would be more towards Eakly, north of Fort Cobb Lake. So this is going to stay mainly out into some rural areas. definitely some good news. But again, there are folks out there too, so we want to make sure that they stay on the safe side. Back out again, seeing if there's any other areas of concern at the moment. This is all just straight wind out in Altus, Blair, and Duke. No wiggles at all here. Where we've been seeing more of the wiggles have been Hobart and North. There is another little wiggle that's trying to get going here outside of Gotebo. So anybody in Gotebo and Mountain View, you need to be just keeping a watch on things. There is no imminent warning right now, but definitely some stronger winds heading out, and then some lighter winds on the west side heading out. So there's a little bit of rotation taking place there too. So all of that bears watching here for the moment. Let's clear this off and go back to our radar view again and just see what we've got. And not any clear, distinct hook here. Maybe a little bit of a wiggle there, but nothing that really stands out. All this is going to be pretty well wrapped in some rain as well. Let's see. Put it back in motion again. You can see all the lightning, quite a bit of light show coming through Kiowa County. Not a lot of lightning down towards the Jackson County area. Blair, Altus, Olustee, Duke, still seeing some scattered lightning down there, but that severe thunderstorm warning is for areas right around the regional airport of Altus and points towards the north. So Friendship and the airport north, Tom Steed Lake, all included in that severe thunderstorm warning here. But for right now, hold up, where's Brian? I have no idea what you're talking about, Robbie. You might be looking at the wrong stream, to be honest. Who knows? Brittany, you're welcome. Trying to make sure my littles sleep through this as well. I've got the monitor here, just making sure we keep everybody quiet here. I know that'll be a little bit of a different story as we get closer to 1 o'clock. So we'll see how that plays out. But we want to make sure everybody is taken care of. I know a lot of folks are uneasy, especially when stuff comes through in the middle of the night. We want to make sure everybody is at least eased into this a little bit more. Again, everything's kind of smoothing out for the moment. That's not saying that we're done with this. That is starting to tighten up here a little bit more. Gotebo, Mountain View, anybody here in northeastern Kiowa County, if you know anybody up there, want to make sure they are taking their precautions. This is trying to get going. Again, not an imminent tornado, but it is starting to tighten up just a little bit here. We're getting some 60-mile-per-hour winds heading out, a little bit trying to come back. So that is your rotation area right in here. So right in here, there is your rotation. It is heading off towards the northeast, towards Gotebo, about to cross over Highway 9, very close to Highway 54. So this is going to go right close to Gotebo. Want to make sure we are letting those folks know. Trying to keep a watch on X or Twitter. What do you call these? They're not tweets anymore, right? So just want to make sure that if there's any information that's getting tossed around out there, that I funnel that back to you too. Let's see the streams and see if anybody's got anything going out there. Haven't really seen anybody posting too much here lately. Some new severe thunderstorm warnings. Not seeing any tornado warning just yet, but this definitely bears watching there in the Gotebo area here. Let's go back. Let's loop this and see how that's progressed. So this would be the same circulation area that prompted me to hop on here initially around the Hobart area. Let's see. Back out a little bit more. And you see other strong storms. Northern Caddo County up here around Hinton. Again, we're kind of pulling from a long way away here. Let's see if we can pull in a closer radar and see what Twin Lakes maybe says about that one. Not quite showing the same thing. That's why you always have to move the radars to get a better picture. Things may be rotating up high, but maybe not so much down in the lower elevations. So we're kind of pulling a little bit further away there in northern Kiowa County, but that one definitely has a little bit of rotation. Definitely something spinning. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lowered area coming down for that storm between Gotebo and Hobart. Back to the radar again. You're starting to see maybe just a little bit of a bulge right in there, right in here, just a little bit. A little bit of a surge of some wind, starting to bring that around just a little bit more, but nothing is imminent at the moment. As far as any hail goes with this, and that hail core is still hasn't updated here in a second. Let's see where that's going though. It should be just north of Hobart now. Yeah, that hail core is going to be up there north of Hobart, right along the Ouachita and Kiowa County line. So that hail core is going to be just to the north of town. So that is some good news there too. All right, waiting for that next sweep to come in so we can see where this is gone. If we see any more development with this. So Comalty, Gotebo, right along Highway 9 up towards Mountain View. That would be the next area that we would be watching for. So it looks like it's gotten a little bit closer to Gotebo, so we should hopefully get that next sweep. Okay, so it has diminished quite a bit. So it does not look nearly as threatening as it did just a moment ago. So you can see how that sweep, that looks like it's kind of some bad data that came in there too. So we'll have to see what that looks like. Still that stronger wind right in here. So the circulation area is still coming through Gotebo. Probably still that lowered area at the moment, but nothing producing a tornado at the moment, I don't believe. Stretching down towards the south a little bit more, down towards Tom Steed, Mount Park, Snyder. Not seeing anything there. The line is still just now coming into Altus, and this is still mainly just some heavy rain and some lightning for those of you in Jackson County. So if you're hopping on, wondering what's going on, all the stormier stuff is off to your north. Hobart, that leading edge has passed you by. So as far as a tornado threat, I think you are in the clear. Blair as well, Altus, things aren't looking as potent down there right now, and even further towards the southwest, El Dorado and Quanah, not really seeing anything too threatening down there either. It's the further north you go on this line where things are a little bit more broken, and you're able to get a little bit more inflow and a little bit more of these notches is where you're seeing more of these tornadic threats that have popped up. So backing out here, there is no active tornado warning at the moment. So we are going to continue to keep a watch on this. Obviously, we still have a long way to go. Still looking at about 1 o'clock for much of Comanche County. Probably closer to 1:30, getting down into Walters, and probably closer to 11:45 around Apache and Anadarko. So we still have a little bit of time. Let's see here. Brittany is saying, I'm sure you've already said this, but I missed it. Will Duncan be expecting similar to what is up north? So everybody's still under the tornado watch until 5 in the morning. And the higher risk area has been for the areas to the east. So as I pop that on here, there's that risk area. So it is just now heading into the more unstable air. So this is going to change a little bit more as we get into this area. We will see it try to strengthen a little bit. So we'll see what happens. It's just now starting to get into that area that is highlighted in the level 3 enhanced risk. So all that threat is still there. Uh, Again, we still have a long way to go, and a lot will still change. Let me pull this off of here. Again, other folks that are joining us here, such as Kayla, thank you for hopping in here real quick as we just track this line real quick. There's no active tornado warning for our area. If you're joining, most of these have been up around I-40 and points towards the north. Quick track of this line through here, back through Altus, out to the east, and let's put it at 30. So we see here, this will be Carnegie at around 12, 15, Snyder at around 12:30, Medicine Park at 12:45, closer to 1 o'clock in the Lawton area. Cash, I believe, is what Kayla was asking for. So we're looking at around 12:50. Get over towards Marlow at around 1:45, Chickasha at 1:30, Anadarko just shy of 1 o'clock. Start getting over to Duncan. That's going to be closer to 2 o'clock for the leading edge of that line. And then if you've got anybody up around Oklahoma City, that's going to be coming up here around 2:30. So still have a long way to go for all this storm here. So Alan was asking about Elgin. About 1 o'clock, sir. So again, most of Comanche County is in that 12:30 to 1 o'clock time frame. So it is still moving east at about 30 miles per hour. And it is coming into that area that's a little bit more unstable. So this definitely bears watching. I'm going to hop off of this real quick back to our wind movement here. And not seeing anything that's, if the others haven't prompted a warning, then we're not going to see a warning out of these just yet. So still straight line winds, some hail mainly to the north of the Hobart area, but we still have about another hour to go before this gets over into Comanche and Caddo counties around Lawton, Anadarko, and Chickasha. So we're going to hop off here. Just going to make sure everybody in the house is good. Again, you are still fine right now. If you have me come back on, that is because we are looking at something else a little bit more worth watching. So everything right now, severe thunderstorm warning around Hobart, north of Altus, around Tom Steed Lake, 60 and quarters right now. Nothing is rotating at the moment. Still some broad rotation for some areas, but nothing is really tightening up. But that threat is still there and could still ramp up as we go into the next hour or so. Patricia hopping on here for Apache. Still think that's closer to about 12:45. So I have about another hour, man, before that works its way into town. So everybody's still under the tornado watch through 5 a.m. It'll be trimmed back as the leading edge of the line comes through. So Hobart, Altus, you are in the clear along with Mangum and Hollis. You can rest easy for tonight. Those of you to the east, Anadarko, Lawton, Cache, Elgin, Chickasha, Marlow, Rush Springs, Walters, Granfield, Frederick, still need to be on guard and have multiple ways of staying informed. Make sure you take that phone off of Do Not Disturb. Want to make sure you have multiple ways of staying informed. We got to make sure our littles stay asleep through this as well. So I will do my best to make sure that I'm back here and keeping you updated, up to date. But I hope you'll understand. First time as a family of 5 with a new little, and her learning how to get through these storms too. So I will do my best to hop back on here as the threat approaches. So for right now, just a severe thunderstorm warning there for Jackson, Kiowa, and Greer counties. We'll be watching this for the next hour as it moves into the Caddo and Comanche and Tillman County areas as well. So I'll hop off here. I'll see you guys the next time things start to get a little bit more worrisome. All right, take care.